I'd do a little video today talking about how I'm doing and whatnot. So obviously the one thing that's really playing on my mind at the moment, really getting me down a bit, is this whole situation with the hat. The fact that he's been out for nearly 2-3 weeks now, and we've still not got him back. I've seen so many people. There's been really been pissing me off lately. I mean, I've seen so many people getting their hats back, and I'm like, I'm happy for them. I'm happy that they got their hats back, but I'm sort of pissed off that everyone else is getting their hats back and we haven't got ours back yet. Like we've not been reunited with our hat, so to speak. Um, it's just it's been obviously this last few weeks has been or last couple of weeks since we went missing has been really tough. It's like, as I've said before, we just want to know that he's safe. We want to know that he's okay. I mean, if someone's picked him up and is taking him in, they should at least put a post up to say, is this someone's hat, etc., etc. They shouldn't keep hold of a hat that doesn't belong to them. That's all we want to know really is that someone does have him, like someone's picked him up, or you know someone's someone's found him, or but no one's put anything up to say that they have. There's been no for the last week or so. There's not really been any sightings of him, and the thing that's really been playing on my mind is obviously I've mentioned before about the caretaker. Obviously Heyman knocked on our door and he said that the hat had been in the bin room and he jumped the bin chute and jumped down the bin chute. Now the bin chute, as I've said before, it's quite a long drop. So obviously it goes right down to the underground garages which are underneath, these flats. And I would say it's a good 50-60 foot drop. And I'm thinking, like, if he's jumped that far down, there's no way that he could have jumped that far down and not got hurt. Surely if he's jumped that far down, he would have got injured in some way. That's a long way to jump. He's jumped a good 50-60 foot down the bin chute, and if he's come away from that with no injuries, that's a bloody miracle. To be able to jump 50-60 foot down a bin chute and not get injured, that would be somewhat of a bloody miracle. I mean, that's what's really playing on my mind. I don't want to think that he got hurt, when he jumped down the bin chute, but I'm sort of wondering, like, did he get hurt doing that? Did he get, I don't know. It's just mad. Like, every time I see a post saying this is someone's hat, this, that, and the other, it makes my heart jump out of my chest, and I'm like thinking, oh my god, this is Milo. And I get my hopes up. I see these posts, and I get my hopes up, thinking it's our Milo. And I hit on the post, and it's not him, and it gets to me, seeing these posts, and I hit on them, and it's not our Milo, it's someone else. It's always someone else's hat. It's never ours. Like, it's just so hard, like, to, and that is getting to me, constantly seeing these posts, and every time I hit on them, it's not, I hit on the post, it's not our hat, I'm like, fuck's sake, it's like, what the heck, this has been, I think we both, both me and my mum have been finding it difficult, since Milo went missing. Because I think, because I think we thought he'd be back before now. But the fact that he's still missing and we've still not gotten him back is incredibly concerning, and it does feel like, we're not going to get him back. That's what it feels like at the moment. It feels like we're not going to get him back. That's the thought that's really sort of been going through my mind over the last couple of weeks, is that thought of we're not going to get him back. He isn't, that he's gone, and we're not going to get him back, and maybe we need to start, accepting that. But I don't want to just accept that we're not going to get him back. I want to try to heat my hopes up, but I'm finding it hard to do that. I'm finding it hard to heat my hopes up, and I'm finding it hard to stay positive. You know, like there's so many different things, like thoughts going through my mind with regards to to the cat, like he thinking, is he okay? Is he safe? Is he hurt? That's all I want to know. All I want to know is that wherever he is, he's okay and that he's safe. Especially because especially bearing in mind that Caretaker said he jumped down the bin chute, and as I said, that's a good 50 to 60 foot drop. And my concern is that when he jumped down the bin chute, he may have potentially sustained some sort of an injury. In doing that. I can't see that he would have been, he wouldn't have gotten hurt jumping 50, 60 foot down a bin chute. I can't see how he's managed to, he wouldn't have gotten hurt, as I feel like he would have done. I feel like if he has jumped down that bin chute and he's jumped that far down, which is what, the caretaker said, that hat has obviously suffered quite, probably suffered quite a nasty injury. That, you wouldn't walk away with that without an injury, even if you were a hat, you wouldn't walk away with that without an injury. You would probably have some sort of a nasty injury of some sort, whether that's a heart, whether that's, whether that's, an injury to your foot. I know they always say that hats land on their feet, but if you're jumping from 50 to 60, 50, 60 foot down a bin chute and you land on your feet, how are you not breaking your bloody paws doing that? You know, um, the situation kind of reminds me of one of my nan's hats years ago. She had a hat called Pepper, and that hat, we think she fell out of the window. She fell out the window. But we searched the house high and low, and we couldn't find her. We never got to the bottom of what actually happened with her. Like, even to this day, like, we still don't know what happened to Pepper. Like, we don't know if somebody took her in and just didn't bother to, you know, didn't bother to bring her back. Did she go off somewhere and die? Did she get injured in some way? Did she go off somewhere and die? We just don't know. We've never had any answers to that question. It's always been somewhat of a mystery, and there's never been any answers to that mystery of what happened to her. What really happened with Pepper. It's kind of this, kind of similar to this, like, our hat's gone missing, and we have no idea where he is. We have no, we think someone has him. We don't know who, but we think somebody's got him. And if somebody has our hat, they need to fucking put a post up and let us know that they've got him. Don't keep hold of a hat that doesn't fucking belong to you. If you've got our hat, if you've got our hat, let us know. I did put that post out. I put my number out on that post so people know to call me or call my mum if they actually find our hat, or if they actually manage to take, or they've actually took him in. They know to call us and let us know. But we've had no phone calls from anyone to say they found him. We've had no phone calls to say, if anyone say they think they've got him. And it's been what, 3 weeks since he went missing, and you would think that surely if someone had him, surely they would have let us know by now that they had him. But it is what it is. As I said, I don't want to think that we're not going to get him back like that. As I said, that's the thought that's been going round and round in my mind recently. Is, do I think we're going to get our hat back? And I just don't feel like we are going to. As I said, and it has been getting to me seeing these posts, about, is this someone's hat, just is happening to someone, you hit on those, on those posts, and it's someone else's hat, like, if you, all we, we just, so like what we want so much is for it to be, is for it to be art hat that someone's asking about. We want to see a post from someone saying it's this art hat, and when we hit on it, we want for it to be art hat, but it never is. It's always someone else's hat, and it's like, for fuck's sake, you know. But yeah, well, I want to give my thoughts on that this evening. Hope you enjoyed this little video anyway. I'll see you in another one soon.